Hello and welcome to the Flexline Media coverage of the Discmania Garden City Open 2023. This round 2 coverage is brought to you by Discmania. My name is Jeremy and I'm back in the booth with Ashton Clark.
Yeah, thanks Jerm. Excited to get into the round 2 coverage and see how the lead card attacks the course. So, familiar face, we've got Connor Mckinstry, who was on the feature card, as you probably saw.
Local ripper Jay Watkinson, stoked to see him throw. And Joe Berry coming in tied third on neg 6.
And Ethan Stout there as well, neg 5, he's in a good position. We've got Connor and Jaden were first and second at the fling, which happened just recently, so it's another showdown between these two. It'll be good to watch.
Hole 1, the big par 3 to start us off, 142 metres, 466 feet for those Americans. Wide open hole, basically just crush it as far as you can and maybe don't get behind that tree on the left, which will give you a slightly tricky approach shot.
Yeah, it's really the only thing out there that can get you in trouble, I think, for this hole. I mean, not to mention the wind. You can see the flags there ripping. It's a little bit more breezy today, I think, especially at the 2 p.m. tee time for lead card.
Yeah, although there's that breeze coming through though, man, this round was hot.
Yeah, so the Saturday, I think we recorded a 34, potentially 35, something like that. So definitely played a factor into the golf out there. Everyone would have been trying to keep their hands dry and, keep the water up. So another thing to think about while you're on the course.
Nice headwind to start us off, but hopefully it shouldn't be any problem for Joe. He's got an absolute monster arm.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Joe attack this course. He's got a pretty impressive drive. Throwing those halo destroyers really well.
Pretty casual 130 there from Joe.
And it'll be interesting to see Ethan, the lefty, attack the course as well. There's a lot of left to right moving fairways, which will favour his shot, so it'll be good to see. Everyone's out there for a good start to the round. No trouble so far.
Connor just having to navigate around this tree that you definitely don't want to come up to those limbs that will guarantee the bogey, but he does well to get around that.
So that'll be a zone out of Ethan with the Discraft bag.
Pretty standard upshot there for Ethan. Very tidy. Ooh, grounded that one a little bit.
Yeah, interesting jump putt from back there from Jay. Might not have been exactly what he was looking for.
Ooh, good putt out of Joe.
I think that was his birdie look, so hasn't lost anything there. It's a pretty tough one to get.
Now that's not normal for Jay. Normally he's canning those ones all day.
Yep, this is a pretty tough one to take a 4 on, if I'm going to be honest, especially for this lead card, so that's not what he was hoping for the start of his round.
It's all good. Perhaps some first hole nerves. Shake those off and move on.
So Connor in for a par there. Pretty standard start. You're just looking to get through clean, I think. Hopefully Jay can tidy this one up.
Perhaps that wind is starting to take effect already as well, making things a bit more tricky on the green, but
I think so.
Jay will do well.
Yeah, he was looking at a bit of an uphill for his par putt as well, and that would have been into a right to left headwind, so definitely playing with it a bit there. Joe in for a par, and Ethan following up with a par as well. Hole 2, low ceiling and a bit of a rise to get over halfway down the fairway. Once you've passed both of those, it's pretty plain sailing to get yourself into the circle. Just throw something flat and straight, hopefully have it slide up to the pin. We saw Connor throw the backhand in round 1, hit the tree next to the basket and park it. Can he reproduce? And
bit of a shank with the enigma there, perhaps.
Yeah, he won't be stoked with that after parking it so well in round 1. Joe gets it through the gap, but not the height he was looking for. Can Ethan be the one to show them how it's done? That's looking great so far.
This fairway definitely shapes up to a lefty, and that's beautiful. Well deserved replay there from Ethan with the follow flight. Nice.
Textbook, really. Perfect height the whole way. Using that ground play to slow it down next to the basket. It's not the most left to right moving hole, so I don't think it really favours the lefty, but it is nice for the forehand or the lefty backhand because you've got this open space out here and then you can skip towards the basket.
Jay's got some nice height on that shot, but just perhaps turning it over a little bit into the headwind.
He's left himself a tester there. He's pretty confident from that range though, so hopefully he can jam that one. Safe approach there.
Nice little run out of Jay there, but he's got another nice jump putt, safe approach shot, kind of similar to Ben's we saw in the first round. Being able to take a stab at it, but not also going too long if he misses.
That's a great pass save from Connor there. Making those just inside circle putts at the beginning of the round is great for the confidence. Even if they're for par, it's still good to be putting them in the basket.
Ethan with the only birdie look on the card. Nice, it's off to a good start there for Ethan. Hole 3, par 3, 132 metres. Mando tree to the right straight off the tee. You want to navigate around that, perhaps throwing a righty backhand roller or a big anti-flex air shot. Coming into a low ceiling green with the basket just tucked under the trees there.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how the wind affects the drives on this hole because all the righties are going to be, I'm assuming, throwing a big anhyzer and it'll be getting pushed down into the dirt. Here's Ethan though with the lefty, just nice and smooth out into the fairway. Hopefully not skipping into the next hole. No, yeah, he should have a look for par there. Connor's found the tree again. I think he was over there in round 1, so this one playing with him a little bit off the tee.
Fortunately, I don't think he's missed it. I think he's just got collected in the limbs and dropped down behind it.
So Joe's got the distance on this one. He's hit the tree on the left, so not the line he was looking for, but man, if that didn't clip that tree, he'd be halfway down hole 1.
Perhaps predicting a bit of a headwind, but maybe getting a bit of a tailwind play. I felt in my round that I thought it was a headwind, and then I threw and it was a tailwind, so perhaps...
You could be right, Jay fading out a bit early there as well.
Yeah, wind does tend to swirl around a little bit in Christchurch, or especially
We're going to see a
Park.
roller scramble here from Connor, bringing out all the tools. This is looking pretty nice. I don't think it's going to be under the basket, but from where he was, it's a great effort.
Well, it's almost under the basket of hole 1, but
luckily not out of bounds.
Perhaps should have been. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe. I did get a couple of discs landing around the green when we were putting out and from my card, so potentially a bit of an oversight, but I don't think there were any issues on the day.
Smooth out of J. Hopefully it checks up. Yeah, pretty good speed control. Nice.
I think a lot of people were surprised by the speed of the ground play of this basket over the weekend because coming off the grass, you're not expecting much from your putters, but there was a big patch of dry dirt there which was just racing your putters past. Doesn't matter for Connor though. Confident putt.
It's a good bogey save actually. He did leave quite a bit left off from that approach shot.
Yeah, definitely could have leaked a couple more there easily without that clutch putting.
Good par clean up from Jay. My opinion is it's kind of a par hole. It's a very, very tough get, and any birdies on this hole you'll be gaining strokes on the field for sure.
Yeah, that's what you're going to see from most players. I think the low ceiling really stops those long runs for birdie. Hole 4, par 4, 159 metres. You can try and get around the corner if you're feeling aggressive, but at the end of the day, the layup's probably the better option because there's a bunker in the middle of the fairway there. Then you're looking at a around 90 metre upshot through these cabbage trees into the green with a path long behind OB. So Ethan being the lefty has probably got a bit more of an attacking option here, but it looks like he's just playing it smart and taking the layup approach.
It's an Athena out of Ethan there.
That's good to see. He's obviously got a game plan and he's sticking to it.
Now I'm stoked to see this play. I saw this play a couple of times from a few people.
Through the bunker.
And that Win really playing well into the roller. I saw I was playing on a card with Dan Frost and he pretty much put one in circle off the tee, which is insane.
Yeah, it's there if you're attacking, but it's a pretty risky play with all that hazard in the fairway. So Jay's gone a bit long of the main gap that a lot of people are looking for there. I don't know if he's intending to do that, but might be a better approach from out there.
Yeah, that bunker right in the middle as well, kind of perfectly placed to collect rollers, so it still is a little bit of a risky play.
So the lefty approach to this basket as well, taking the cabbage trees out of play, but he's put it long. Was not expecting that. That tailwind might have come into it there.
Is that short dead grass giving some quick ground play, but Connor checking up nicely before the OB?
So Jay looking to go deep off the drive, I think might have been intentional so he can take those cabbage trees out of the layup. That's a pretty smart play I didn't think of actually. Joe's managed to find an open line to the pin as well. So these boys just cutting out all of the hazards they possibly can. Playing the hole really nicely.
Yeah, I like that forehand approach on this hole, kind of playing around the cabbage trees, not tempting fate with the backhand straight at them. They tend to be a pretty good guardian trees.
Cool. Connor must have been just outside there going for the stepper. Unfortunately just off the top, but he stayed close.
Oof.
Yeah, Ethan's not happy with that one. Might have been looking for a bit of lift with the right to left, I'm not sure. Talking to his disc after it hit the cage.
Yeah, that win really starting to show now on this open green, really affecting this leads card's putting.
It's definitely more noticeable this round. You can just tell by the putting these lads are usually pretty deadly from circle one, so to see them missing like this is definitely speaking to how strong that wind is.
Jay caught up in a bit of cabbage leaf there.
Just checking the footing. Got to be comfortable. There we go, that's a great birdie.
That is a great birdie.
So he's cancelled out his overpass stroke from hole one there, and he's ready to get the round started.
Unfortunate bogey for Ethan there after going OB on his approach shot. Moving on to hole 5, 83 metres, another kind of left to right moving hole. Mando to the right, obviously passing left around it. OB path down the right hand side as well, so you want to check up before there. Jay on the box first with a nice forehand. I believe that's a Fallon.
Yeah, it's a smooth looking shot. He's got just inside that tree there that you want to beat and skipping close to the basket. Joe looking to follow suit, probably throwing something like a Firebird.
That looks nice, but just that last tree getting him. Better than missing the Mando tree though, I guess.
Yeah, it really is parked right in that forehand line where you want to be fading into the basket. Kind of fading out quite early there. He's pin high, but he's going to have some trees to navigate to get to the green.
Bit of a lefty hole that Ethan will probably be looking to take advantage of. Nice skip. Nice check up, just putting him about circle's edge or 8 or 9 metres or so.
So relatively open up shot for Connor here. Just got to get around this tree. He could even give this a sneaky run if he's feeling confident. It's got the height.
Oh, what?
Alright then.
I was trying to work out whether he laid up there as a safe play, but
No, I love it. Love the aggression. Good to see. Got to back yourself.
what a putt.
That's how you put yourself in the lead.
And get replays.
So Joe, after clipping that tree,
Here comes the big putt. Yeah.
no, not quite, but he'll be tapping in his par. Ethan with a look for birdie.
Nah.
Just off again.
Looks like he was expecting the wind to drift a little bit further to the left than it did.
Yeah, he's not the only one having troubles on the putting green though, so he's not losing too many strokes to the card at this stage.
Good birdie there from Jay. Glad to see Connor didn't big putt the card with that insane putt too.
Saying that, Ethan has left himself with a pretty not an easy comeback for par with the branch there taking a knee. That's well done.
Surprisingly for round 2, hole 5 coming in 0.13 under par as well. So one of those holes that you want to get, but I didn't think it would come in under par.
So hole 6, the infamous bunker hole. It's the bunker just surrounding the basket there, as you'll see in a second. And to be honest, a little bit of a gamble off the tee if you're going for a spike hyzer, really just trying to land it close and hopefully not be in the bunker for a hazard. I think most of these guys are going to be going over the top. Yep, Jay taking the hyzer approach.
Yeah, there was a really good wind on this hole. It was kind of like a right to left headwind. It was very easy to get the spike hyzer distance.
Yeah, you didn't have to put much on it to get it there.
Not at all.
Toss it up into the wind and let it push to the basket, really.
Send it nice and wide as well, so that wind doesn't carry it. But as you can see, all the boys going long here. But
Yeah, so far they're long of the pin, which leaves you that option of putting it towards the bunker, or probably, as we learnt in round 1, the safe layup is the option. Yeah, it's unlucky from Joe, like we said. It's a bit of a gamble coming into the green, but he'll be looking at a easy par from there, I believe. Ethan clips the top of the trees, but he's landed safe. I'm assuming this is a layup. Yep, smart play.
You'd be running it from there though, Ashton, wouldn't you?
For taking bogeys all day. So Connor is a bit of a running it stance right here. After that big make on hole 5. No.
Took his medicine. Smart play.
Seemed like he was thinking about it.
You know if this man is laying up, it's a scary green to putt on.
For sure. Cool, so everyone getting through so far with no damage.
Yeah, I don't mind that drive out of Joe. It's a pretty routine par, even though you're in the hazard there.
Yeah. I think walking away with a 3 on this hole, you're feeling good. A 2 obviously is great, but it's pretty... You just can bounce anywhere, and, you know, it's a tough 1 to 2.
Moving on to hole 7, par 3, 75 metres through the woods, semi-low ceiling, and a Mando. I think it was a double Mando, actually. Slightly downhill off the tee and then uphill to finish, so you're really looking to either throw a right-hand forehand, like we're going to see out of Jay here, and skip one and slide one up, or just a stock backhand hyzer, probably from Ethan. So another left to right hole. I found this course did favour the lefty, I guess, slightly.
Yeah, it might have been, but that might just be because we're so used to right-hand dominant courses. We're a bit shocked when there's a lot of left to right holes.
Maybe it's a good thing. It definitely improved my forehand over the weekend anyway.
So when you step up to this tee pad, initially there's a straight gap, which you look at, and it kind of tempts you into throwing a straight right-hand backhand with a skip at the end. But the ground and the trees there was a lot of dead branches and bark and everything, and it just wasn't the most consistent ground play. So I think going to the left-hand side was most people's option to get close to the pin. Little gallery forming now for the lead card. It's good to see.
It's not routine out of Connor there after all these putts he's been making.
There we go. So Joe breaks the par streak. He's under par for the round. See if he can get something going.
Yeah, good comebacker from Connor. Those comebackers are always a little bit tougher after you airball one.
Yeah, start to question yourself when you miss one and then your comeback is a similar distance. And I feel like Ethan's getting a little bit unlucky with some of these. They're quite far right side, I think, so far, but you'd expect a couple of them to stick maybe. Great birdie from Jay. He's pushing out to a little lead now. He's got a couple of strokes.
Yeah, after a few nerves perhaps on the first hole, he's picking up quite a few birdies to put together a 2-stroke lead perhaps.
So, hole 8, we've got a nice short par 4 coming in at 148 metres. This one, as you can see from round 1, is reachable from the tee, but you're really looking to put something in the centre of the fairway you can see now and then give yourself a nice easy pitch up to the basket. The OB golf green behind shouldn't come into play, but it's always there in your head. Those red flags stick out.
Yeah, I find the tricky thing about this hole was definitely approaching that green. It's hard to judge distance out in the open, and with that golf green behind the basket in your head, you definitely don't want to overshoot it.
Interesting to see Jay going for the forehand there. It's definitely playing for the birdie. He knows what he wants to take on the hole. I think going with the Anheuser driver backhand, you can give yourself a chance to take a 2, and you're probably not going to be in that much danger. As you can see Joe hitting a tree there and falling in a great spot for taking a birdie. Connor keeps this one pretty tight inside, and he's just clipped the tree. Making the Mando though.
We have a Zeus out of Ethan as well, playing that overstable driver, hoping probably for some skip, just right into the middle. Should leave him with a easy approach shot for a birdie. This is definitely a hole that you're looking to get. Just like round 1, coming in as the easiest hole for round 2.
So Connor's given himself a putt there. It's an outside look, but he's definitely got a chance to make birdie still. Yeah, upshots towards this basket in the gusty wind. That green's definitely going to be playing on your mind. So landing short's probably going to be the most common miss, I'd say, coming into the screen.
No problem at all for Jay, and no problem at all for Ethan. Leave themselves with a couple of metres for the birdie. And man, if Joe's drive didn't hit that tree, it already spun the cameraman around. That was going places.
Yeah, could have been OB long. But he's gone attacking off the green and off the tee, and he's parked up for a birdie, so no harm in running it off the tee. Connor won't be happy to be taking a par here. It's a pretty easy birdie hole, but once again, this course, I feel like if you're taking pars, people aren't really running away from you too much. Just about not taking those bogey strokes. As you can hear Ethan saying, he's under par for the round, so hopefully he can start something off now.
Jay's got a nice little streak going here, reaching 10 under. It's a pretty good front nine. Connor cleaning up that par.
He's putting a bit of a move on the card so far.
Here we have hole 9, par 3, the river hole, 85 metres. There's an artificial river marked by the flags just beyond this tree, cutting off the green. Perfectly placed tree in the middle of the fairway, I might add.
Yeah, I think the OB River is a good addition to the hole because it really asks you to hit the gap and push onto the green. You can't really throw anything without full, you have to attack if you're going to get a birdie. That's what I'm trying to say.
Makes you commit to the shot, eh? I think that the tree's good too because you can hit it and drop before it, but you'd be very unlucky to hit it and roll into the stream.
But Joe's hit the forehand line really nicely. Similar shape out of Ethan here with the lefty.
Parked.
Skipping up the hill to a park job. And we've got a replay of that one. We follow flight. fading out just at the right time to get that nice left to right skip up the hill.
Yeah, I really like the addition of the OB stream as well. It makes a relatively simple hole have a lot more risk, which is it's a nice way to add some variety to the course as we see.
There we go, just as we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Without the OB stream, there wouldn't be much separation on the hole, I don't think, because if you're in there, you're probably taking 3 strokes on the hole. So I think it's a good hazard to have.
Yeah, so that's going to be a couple of birdies for Connor and Jay, unfortunately.
Birdies?
Bogeys.
Yeah. I was a little bit... I wish I could
what I mean.
I wish I could take birdies like that.
Yeah, just throw it OB and cash a birdie. That'd be nice.
That's a birdie out of Joe. He's got a wee turkey to finish the front 9 there, and he's only 1 stroke off the lead.
Yeah, it's a really good finish to the front 9 for Joe after that long par streak. He's stoked to break that.
So we've got a few players playing pretty hot on the front 9 there. Connor not as fast off the gates as he was in round 1, but there's still 9 holes to go, so we'll see what he can put together. At the moment, we've got Jay and Joe out the front on 9 under overall. Andrew Popham climbing up the leaderboard with a 4 under front 9 so far.
Tied with Ethan as well for 7 under, followed by Connor and Francis Orange and a bunch of other people.
Francis Orange 5 down through the front 9 so far. That's impressive pace. Cheers for joining us for the front 9 of round 2 of the Garden City Open, and we'll see you on the back 9.